Let's discuss more. Out front tonight, Donald Trump campaign spokesperson Katrina Pierson and conservative radio host Ben Ferguson. Guys, it's great to see you. So
good to be here.
Dana lays it out really. Hi, Katrina. Dana lays it out really perfectly. Trump brags often about not needing to spend really any money, and he still stays atop of the polls. So, Katrina, why then roll out any ads, and why now?
Well, because we're a month out from the Iowa caucus, and anyone that's running a competitive race wants to run ads to make sure that their narrative stays consistent and that their opponents don't define who they are. And as we've heard, that Mr. Trump's ad is very consistent with what he's been saying this entire time. This is about keeping your voters excited and getting them out to the caucus. Nothing more and nothing less.
Nothing more, nothing less, Ben. Trump also said, on top of that, he also said that he almost feels guilty not spending some cash. He said that to CBS. Do you think this is all been about he just feels bad not spending some money?
No, I don't think it's about that at all. I think Donald Trump is concerned that he's not going to do well in Iowa, and then things can spiral out of control. He's smart to spend money. He should be spending money there because he's in a very tight race with Ted Cruz. The problem may be what is in his ad that might get him in more trouble. The fact that he says we're going to take the oil of ISIS. Are we going to take it and then give it back to the people in Iraq? Or are we going to take it and sell it? What is his plan with that? Because him saying he's taking oil from ISIS is obviously news to me. And also, when he says he's going to build the wall, how are you going to do it? At some point, he's going to have to answer the question on specifics. And saying that I'm a negotiator, I'm the best negotiator you've ever seen in the world, trust me, Mexico's going to pay for it. That is not a plan. That is just an idea that is backed up in literally nothing. So at some point, he's going to have to talk to the voters in Iowa, in New Hampshire, with actual facts on how he would accomplish this. Otherwise, they're empty promises.
But here's the thing.
Well, I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure that that's the case, Ben. I mean, you're talking about Donald Trump, who is a building empire owner. So of course he knows how to build a wall. I mean, that really can't be the argument here. And of course, how is that going to happen?
Katrina,
how is he going to build the wall? Ben,
I didn't say he didn't know how to build the wall.
Are you going to let me talk? Are you going to let me speak,
Yeah, but
Ben?
that's not what I said. I didn't say he didn't know how to build it.
Let me finish my point, and then you can speak.
But Katrina, to Ben's point, he says he knows how to build a wall, but how is he going to make Mexico pay for it?
Because we have all of these restrictions we put on states and municipalities. Every time we give a dime to anybody, we put conditions and terms, and we have all of these strings attached. We don't do that with other nations that we give hundreds of millions and sometimes billions of dollars to. We have to start using our own leverage, which is financial, on these other countries to make them step up in the Middle East and to build the wall on the southern border of China, on the southern border of the United States and Mexico.
I'm not saying that Donald Trump doesn't know how to build an actual wall, okay? That is the easy part of the plan. The idea that you're going to get Mexico to do it, and the answer he has given is, quote unquote, trust me, I'm the best negotiator in the world. That's not an answer. What you just said did not answer the question. Saying that you're going to put pressure on Mexico and therefore they're just going to say, oh, Donald Trump became president of the United States of America, therefore we're going to go ahead and build a wall because he became president. That is not an adequate answer in Iowa and New Hampshire when you have a lot of smart voters.
Here's the one thing about
wall has already been started, and Congress already passed the appropriations to build the wall. So what are you talking about?
So, Katrina, let me jump in on this. One thing is clear. Even though he hasn't offered specifics, that has not hurt him in the polls to this point. That is one thing that has confounded many establishment Republicans and conservatives alike, how that is possible. Do Iowa voters, do New Hampshire voters, do they really want to hear more from him? We're going to find out when they head to the polls. But here's one question that a lot of folks do want more specifics on and answers to, Katrina. You heard it in Dana's piece. Your campaign is being called out right now for using footage from Morocco in this new ad when talking about people flooding the U.S. border. You guys have said it was intentional, but most people, I mean, let's be honest, most people don't know that that video is of Morocco. So for a lot of folks, this is misleading.
Well, if you're any successful in business, you know that 60% of your sale is your visual aid. That was getting a point across of what an open border looks like. And had he used footage from the undocumented minors that were flooding across the border, he'd be accused of being insensitive or taking advantage or politicizing a humanitarian crisis. But to the point of being specific, the reason why it hasn't mattered this cycle, and I think he has been specific, but the reason why a lot of people aren't really listening to this 14-point necessity is because we've had Republican Republican politicians for the last few decades that go out there and they spout off these 14-point plans, they make all these campaign promises, and they give you the exact think tank that you want to hear, and then they get elected and do nothing. That's why it's not setting with voters.
We'll have to see if a
Katrina,
visual aid
here's
of
the
being
thing, though, about
misleading
this.
will fly with voters, though. I will say that is going to be a lingering question that folks are going to want to know more about. Katrina, Ben, thanks, guys. Let's continue this.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.